Hello, old souls, fellow empaths, seers, psychonauts. Come on in for a seat for a surreal story today. We're going to utilize the scrolls. We're going to scribe for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on Tarot and Oracle and the Shaman's Palm layout. And where Mr. Ghosty here is, we have Ghost Tube kick in for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our abstract and ancient auric adventures. Overall, pleased to receive a release freely. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home, as your time, attention, and awareness is appreciated, and your presence and perspective is powerful. When you're ready, let's go. All right. I'm getting this feeling like I'm being observed. I don't know, old souls, in whatever capacity that might be, empathically, seekers, seers, psychonautically, or just in the vast ways in which you connect to the collective and individually. And when I say like being observed, it feels like with binoculars. So whatever this energy is, isn't close by in actual proximity, but they have tools to see closer. Not so much like microscope or telescope, but binoculars. So it feels very earthly realm, like very much so. Maybe there might be an energetic entitlement. Maybe somebody has eyes for you, or they're just being nosy Nellies. But I kind of feel like the space between I, you, we, and I'm going to say them in reflection, but that's not in any way like predator and prey, villain, or this or that. There is an interaction before, and that's why the boundary has already been built for this energy. It's why they can't quite get close and had to use or are using binoculars. Does that make sense? So anyway, okay. I'm going to dive in here. Taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of fellow old souls, empaths, seers, and psychonauts, thank you for being here, and may we all meet a message with meaning.
Again.
I'm just going to take that, okay? I'll take that. All right. Here's our scrolls. You know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below. Drop an emoji. Give a girl a heart. Like, any interactions with the channel is appreciated. Yeah, see, there's like a grumpy gopher face in here. I don't know if so rude. I just don't know if somebody, like they're a little grumpy gopher guts that maybe they have this moat. It's being received as a block versus a respect and how to navigate maybe actions, responses, intention, real intentions, not surface shit stuff, real intentions. Why do I wish to get closer or get closer again to this person? Why do I feel that I need to know what's going on? These I feel like are like the questions going on, not from the old soul space. Because I'm getting this feeling like there's like, if like Wolverine, all the claws come out, right? But there's this one claw, just the pinky claw.
I need to go.
And I feel like you're welcome to go, love. You don't have to stay here. As in the old soul space and aura, it's like, not to be creepy about it, but, I love me a little spooky. It's like drawing a line, like with this one nail, not on a chalkboard per se, but just in general. And it almost draws like a salt circle. Inspired. There was a line that was drawn with this energy, whatever it is, and whatever channel, corporate, creative, personal, platonic, romantic, all the yada 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 is. And it's like, why? Why don't I have access to this old soul? I'm entitled to it for some reason. And whatever the reasoning is, it's out of date. It's out of date. So then when I see like that, pinky, it's almost like one of those wires, ping, and then it rattles a tin can that turns on emotion light, that, and it has all these, again, I don't want it to sound so trappy, but this system is in place because of an interaction with this energy before. This has like been built over time. So it's not like this is a quick response of why maybe you have this security system for this energy quite specifically. Because here's how I'm seeing this. It's like you are a double-ended or double-pointed, double-ended crystal. Now, I know, or I think I know, that that has specific meaning in all my crystal books, and I'm trying to reference it in my mind, but it's not stepping forward for me to like verbatim. So it's like a single-pointed crystal has a purpose maybe for healing or, you know, very direct acupressure, but something about a double-ended crystal, double-pointed crystal, and that's how I feel like you're coming through, your, me, I, we, insert however you might feel. And then it's like this contraption where, if you can imagine, this double-ended crystal can then open up like it's, I'm going to use the term mechanical, but it's almost like alien technology type thing. And it's the best way I can kind of say it in my imagination, the way it's coming through. It's like opening up this crystal. But I feel like maybe you've learned to do something aside or keep to oneself, or I don't know what it is, because I'm also seeing this as a steam whistle, like in a cartoon on a choo-choo train, like boop, boop, and the steam would come out of here. You've already released the steam about something, but I feel a little bit clawed at in some sort of power, and this is happening earthly, earthly and energetically.
False.
Yeah, it's more emotional. Sorry. I had to work through that for a second. Because I'm seeing it like the claw marks, but there's no access to it, to you. But even the attempts, if you're getting the sensation, are a little frustrating. I'll just lean into that. I'm not going to avoid it. It's a little frustrating. Okay, so I'm going to wander. There's almost like this apology feel. I'm not going to lie. There's like this little like kind of scary movie, horror movie vibe about it. Because I'm seeing this like a mask of some sort, almost like a Raggedy Ann or Andy doll. Not those specifically, but it's something in like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or I didn't know. I'm a very kind person, but that's not to say that I'm also, and I'm sure you are as well, or can relate when you need to pull out the big guns of sorts and be like, I'm calling bullshit. The sincerity, the exaggerated tone, like, I'm so sorry. Oh, man, it's just something about it. Gets me all sorts of no. And it's almost like I can see this in like whoever or whatever this observation is, an archetype of oneself, a fear, a habit, you know, and maybe you've been, you know, changing time or whatever the case is. I'm not assuming this is a person, but it is an energy that is affecting the emotions that feels entitled access. And there was a coming together at one point in time. And it was like kiss and make up, kiss and make up. And then there was this back-to-back. It's almost like knowledge back-to-back. Like we, you know. And then we went our separate ways. Inevitably, that was bound to happen. Because whatever the pointlessing being was, there's sharks in here. It was like two sharks meeting. But like a hammerhead shark. And pick a different kind of shark. But Shark Week and horror movies are kind of coming in. And I feel very defended and or defensive. And maybe that's why it's bringing it up. But the defense is already built in now to this energy. Okay, let's add on some cards and see if anything else comes through. If I didn't say so already, thank you so much for being here. As well, if you're part of the Secret Terror Society, Old Souls, The link to the extended will be below if you'd like to join the second tier. No pressure, just an open opportunity. Cave of Ice, there is a promise maybe somewhere along the lines. You promised. Something's outdated. It's like pulling on my heartstrings to be like, well, you promised dot 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 dot, or I promised dot 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 dot. And it's like using guilt to punish to get me to have access back. Some bridge has been burned. Straight up. There's an old arrowhead in here. It's like I'm seeing, if I may, if an arrowhead symbol means anything to you. Like right here, that triangle of power, and this one. It got tattered. It's like you've regrown. If I can be cheesy, as above and so below. But this beak, it brings me into that eagle, not the butterfly metamorphosis, the eagle metamorphosis. Do you know when you can like imagine you can see an overlay of an energy or entity, possibly even emotional energy and entity, especially here with the empaths, right? And seers. And you're exploratory as existence explorers of psychonauts. So like emerging all these things without holding them to some finiteness. Okay. When you can see like an overlay on somebody, an emotional overlay or an energetic overlay. Because it's like this other energy, whatever it is, has also made a deal within oneself or whatever the space is. Stupid. It feels guilt-ridden. Can you please stop saying stupid? It's just so ridiculous and it's unnecessary, because this is the thing. It feels a little insulting. And that's what I don't understand. It feels insulting. You want me to connect. You want to approach with this energy, but yet somehow it's insulting. Cave of Winds. Creativity. Oh, I'm loving this. I am loving this. So I'm seeing like the Phantom of the Opera. I don't know if this message of Old Soul is for one or some, but I'm going to go with it, because if it is meaningful for one and you understand these sensations, then I want you to be seen, felt, and heard as well. And for others, if you're holding space, gratitude. Imagine that. Okay, so first of all, one rabbit hole is I can see somebody in some channel, whatever your creativity is, right? You create connections, or you create content, you create cars to be fixed, cars to run, programs, whatever the case is, musicians, etc. There's a deal that you're wanting to make, and I see you making it. I got to go back to this first story that just feels so guilt-ridden. Ugh. But I'm going to speak to it because we're not going to avoid it. So imagine like you can hear off in the distance from this observing kind of energy with these Beanox, and they realize that you've already put in place things in response to years, weeks, months, right? Whatever the case is. Traumas. Anyway. And they can see that. So now they're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start playing sad music. Like, woe is me. I'm sure I'm being overly exaggeratory in the way I'm even receiving the music. It's almost like because the sentimental bridge was burned, I can't trust the sentiment. I can't trust the song. It's like when there's a song being played, but there's really other things going on in the layers of the music, you know, hypnotically or something along that lines. So now they're, and you might hear it, you might hear this music in the background. You're like, I see, here's the thing. I don't want to roll my eyes at it, but I am. I know I am. I'm rolling my eyes because it's like, I don't want to fall for it again. I don't know if this is heartbreak or even just within myself, on and off wagons, trying to start something new or whatever the case is. There's a million and one distractions I could apply. Cave of Hearth Fires. Messengers. Or messenger. In the Cave of the Heart of Hearts. Cave of Rivers. You are here. Act of Love, do nothing. I'm just going to get one more to close out the Shaman's Palm here. And then Visitation. Okay. On the bottom is Things, if I didn't show that. For one thing, I'm going to say I feel like there's something from childhood specifically that might be coming up. This story, or the words at least I hear specifically, are, you promised to take care of me and to provide. But you did nothing. In this regard, these parents or this parent figures, archetypes in my head, have passed.
I want to talk.
You're so welcome to talk. We're here. We're here. They have passed. And I feel like maybe that's also from that distance space. They're trying to get a message to me, and I'm not listening at this point in time. At this point in time. Fair enough. Fair enough. From this other earthly, very earthly, guilt kind of ridden space.
You're listening.
I feel like somebody else is going to show up on behalf of this energy that would like to connect with you. Now, one is very clearly for work. Here's the thing. Okay. I don't know why this message is like so... like the strategy of guilt. Can I write that down? I might need to remember that for the title, because if it's like, and there's something about you, or at least if you're still here resonating, being this double-ended crystal and being able to open up into a contraption of sorts. Oh, what is that show that can help me? I know it's spherical, or I think it's spherical in the show, but the essence is there. Foundation, the show Foundation. Okay. So then they send somebody else. They're like, okay, well, you know what? It's like if my sister was mad at me, but I love my sisters now. Anyway, and then she would send her kid and be like, go see if Auntie, they call me Cha-Cha, go see if Auntie Steph, go put on the guilt trip and be like, will you talk to my mom, please? She's sad. Right? So they send like a little messenger. I feel like that's just the example of how, right? Okay. Because my siblings are my favorite, but you do nothing, or at least that's how I'm feeling. I'm doing nothing. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go back to the promise in the Cave of Ice. It's because it's almost like even with that Cave of Ice, stepping forward, thank you, is binding someone. Now, this isn't in the binding because they're the problem or the issue or this, that, or the other. This is binding myself in relation to playing with this, wasting my own time again, or whatever, however one might, right? Of the whole love and light, yada, 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 yada is. So I'm going to do nothing. Because it feels like more guilt. More... it feels more of the same thing. Ironically, it's like reaffirming what you already know. And it shows more and more and more of the intention of oneself. I hope I'm doing this some justice, because this feels like a tough message to move through. But again, I hope I'm doing somewhere some form of justice in how you might be feeling. So I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to be made to feel bad about that. And then it's like they kind of just show up. Again, it's a blatant things of disregarding. And if they can't get access to you personally, if this is a person, so then they go around maybe in your career. Maybe they access you from a business space. But again, all of these things feel and look and are very obvious things of disrespecting one's boundary and bind to say, I'm not, we close this. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I feel so, I just feel away. And I do, I come like right into this like angry bird feel of sorts, but I'm not going to be made to feel bad because I'm angered. At the same time, I'm going to transmute that. Yes, I'm going to transmute that. Elephant coming through. Leadership. I'm going to take the lead on that. Even still, it's like if you can imagine here seeing this and there's something or someone watching you. I don't know what they want from you, what they need, what they think they want, what they think they need, and why they're applying it to you. That's really giving away power. Their power.
36.
And you're transmuting it best you can. Honeybee. With receptivity. Oh no, it's reciprocity. Bull. Sacrifice. Yeah, you've already done this before. Red-crowned crane, loyalty, and dog companionship. On the bottom is rhinoceros. You ride the rhinoceros now. Of reflections. You've taken the lead in one regard, how maybe you're moving through the collective, individual, interconnected, whatever the case may be, is taking the lead of what reciprocity looks and feels like. Whoever, whatever this energy is, it's not reciprocal. There is you make sacrifices and they receive. It's like that feeling of loyal to a fault. And now you know through whatever regards as I'm getting ready to flip through, you can see through that. And what companionship looks like in other ways, what connectivity looks like and feels like in other ways. As I'm getting ready to close or flip to the other side, if you're going to join us, because I'm getting like Candyman vibes. Did you ever see that horror movie, Candyman? I think at some point in time he was covered in bees, or maybe it's something else, covered in bees. It's like there's this feeling. Somebody's trying to sell me a love story, and it's really a horror movie. Okay, let's flip it. I'll see you on the other side if you're joining me. And if not, until next week. So much love, old souls. Navigate well. All right, bye.